Okay, everybody, let's talk about a quick fix that we all need to make to our spreadsheets really quickly here. So let's say that your salary is $75,000. If you go over to your budget, you're going to see that your annual salary is $75,000. However, prior to me making a little fix here, your take-home pay was actually greater than that, which doesn't make any sense at all, especially given that you're saving and paying federal income taxes. The mistake was made here in cell C6. So if we all click on C6, tap it so that you can see the actual equation up here. Now the equation's super long, and that part is actually all right. The little mistake is that I forgot to put a negative sign in the beginning because taxes are negative. They're not income for you. They're actually an expense. They're coming out of your pay. So what you need to do is go right after the equal sign and just put a minus sign there. Push return, and you're going to see your take-home pay. If you look at it right now, it's $82,375. Is now going to drop significantly. Now this is down to $52,625. This is probably going to cause a lot of problems for many of you in that it may make it so that your budget previously was good and it no longer is. That's a concern and something that you need to fix. If you understood all of the budget, you can call it a day. You don't need to watch anything else on this. If you need some help on some of the budget items, I'm going to go through them all again really quickly because I had a few questions. First off, 25th percentile income I think is pretty straightforward. Pick your job, pick this column 25th percentile, and we're going to use that as your salary. Second, your school cost versus scholarship. School cost is going to be the amount that you have to pay for a specific university or college times 4 for it being 4 years. Or if you are somebody who's going to be a lawyer or a doctor, you need to actually look up how long it's going or how much you're going to have to pay over the long term so you can figure out the total cost here of your loans. Scholarship can be a lot of different things, but what I'm really thinking about here is, let's say your parents tell you, hey, we're going to give you $50,000 for school. You would type in $50,000 here. If your parents said to you, we're going to pay for your entire education, then all you need to do is write the exact same cost in school cost and also in scholarship. The reason I still want you to write it in there is because I want you to understand how much it actually does cost, because that's an important thing to know. Savings is pretty minor. All you have to do is put in a number, so I just typed in 5, it put it at 5%. You can pick what you would like to save. Notice though, note how many people there are who are kind of going back to work later on in life because they don't have enough money for retirement. It's definitely a good thing to do ahead of time. Under home, instead of this saying enter loan amount, if you want to change it on your own, you can. This is really total home value. It's a misleading number there, and I apologize for that. So total home value, you could put that there. If you're choosing to buy a house, you would type in the value of the home. So let's say it's a $250,000 house. You can put it there. My suggestion would be to put down 10% of that is what is going to be your down payment. It doesn't really have much of an impact on your actual spreadsheet, though, so don't worry about it too much. If you're going to rent, let's say you find a place you're going to rent that's $1,000 per month, just type 1,000 in the box and make sure that you also delete what you have in your home cost because you are not going to be paying for a home and rent unless you decide you want to have both properties. For cars, this is going to be total car value, so 25,000 might be the total amount that the car is valued at. 5,000 is how much you're putting down. As for miles driven per year, a nice average that you might want to use is 12,000. That equals about 1,000 miles per month. Miles per gallon, I want you to find out the specific miles per gallon for your car from an online source. Now, a couple things to consider here in this category. Number one, miles driven per year, it can vary tremendously. If you're not going to drive very much, you might be able to get it down to 7,500. But that's extremely low, and I'd have a hard time envisioning many people being that low. If you're going to drive a whole lot, you might be upwards of 15, even 20,000 miles per year. Now, here's what I want you to consider. At 15,000 miles per year, let's say you're at a poor gas mileage car, you might be paying $3,500 a year in gas cost. In other words, fueling your car, which is something to consider. Cell phone, figure out what your monthly cell phone plan is going to be. We have a generic $150 here. It can really vary from that. Groceries, this is how much per week. For this one, you're looking at, and we're going to use the B column for one adult. So one adult, how much does it cost to feed you? Basically, the thing you need to know is it's going to cost you a lot more to feed yourself if you're eating out every night and every day and for every meal. If you're going to get groceries and cook at home, you can save yourself quite a bit of money. Something else that I would do is I would add about $25 to that, based upon other grocery expenses that you're going to have. Cleaning supplies, bags, paper products, all that type of stuff. Next, on to extra spending, and this is our last one that we need to look at here. How much do you want to spend monthly? In other words, shopping, going out, having fun. Where do you want to? How much do you want to allow for yourself? If you want it to be $500 per month, then put in 500. It really can vary quite a bit. Keep in mind though, if you don't give yourself a limit, you could spend a whole lot of money here before you even really realize it. And finally, you have vacations. Now, I do want to emphasize this. The vacation costs that I gave you for the European are super low. I modified them on mine to 4, 8, and 15 for 2 people, and 7,500, 15,000, and 25,000 for family. Those are going to be way more expensive just because of plane tickets. If your family has traveled abroad, in other words, to another country, it might be good to ask them and see what they tell you. Then we have our budget. Our budget then is here. You can see what it looks like and what you need to fix here. Whenever it says, and whatever I told you in class, you have to balance your budget. What that means is you have to make sure that you are under budget. In other words, you have to have money left. If it says here, no, you are over budget, you need to cut some expenses, then your requirement is to fix that by cutting some expenses and putting it back so that you are breaking even or have a little bit of money left over. Okay? Those are the fixes that I wanted you to make here, and I hope that was clear to you.